Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl in the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine sides of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us. It's 8:44 on the clock in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we have to shift the energy within ourselves, shift our thinking, and affirm new ideas, new thoughts. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. We are doing the tune in. So we're going to do head space, heart space, and a bunch of oracles. So get your coffee or your tea or whatever time it is for you. Pop your popcorn and let's get going. Also, enjoy the lovely chorus of dog toy sounds that we'll have probably for the first half an hour at least. All right. So you come here. There's a reason that you come to these readings. It varies for everybody. Typically, a lot of us are in separation with no communication and we're seeking information about our person. We can glean that information from what we hear as long as we fully understand that our person is likely just going to reflect our own energy back to us. If you're confused, if you're like, the divine masculine is supposed to be doing this, that, and the other thing, but he's not doing anything, and you're focused on a person that is a masculine gender, well, that masculine gendered person is composed of both the feminine and the masculine energies. And if the person that you are focused on isn't reflecting back your energy in any way, shape, or form, it's a pretty good clue to you that that person is probably not at the same level as you in terms of where you are at. And they are not actually reflecting your soul's energy back to you very accurately. You're going to see elements of the masculine and feminine in everyone around you. And you can, of course, apply it to the person that is a direct reflection. We sometimes refer to that person as the twin. Or even with our karmic relationships or soulmate relationships, you're going to see reflections. So keep that in mind. But you might be here because you want to know what that person has to say to you. You might want to know when you're going to see this person or hear from this person. And then some of us that are on at a different point in our journey, different stage in our journey, may actually be here to hear the part of ourself that we are less in touch with so that we can understand why we do the things we do so that we can shift and be able to receive what we want to receive. Whatever reason that is that you're here right now, whatever you think is going to make you feel better from these messages, just hold that in your mind for just a moment. Whatever you think is going to make you feel better. That is what you think you need. Now, sometimes our ego is way off of what we actually need to make us feel better. Honestly, it usually is. And what we actually need is this. This is the Nine of Swords. It actually says cruelty on it. Very interesting. This is from the Thoth Tarot. These cards are as big as my head. They're so huge. And I use them for these heavy and weighty themes because this deck feels like that. So what I'm picking up on from this card is that it is time for you to face your fears and understand that your fears that you have are actually a form of cruelty towards the self. Most of the fears we have hone in on insecurities and self-doubts. These nasty things we think about ourselves that keep us restless up at night, not able to face ourselves, not able to face one another. And just in general, fear, that we really need to move through the fear. We're being cruel to ourselves when we don't actually face our fears. We're letting those fears rule over us. So yeah, what you actually need to do right now is face your anxiety, face your doubts, face your fears. You might need more sleep. You might have been having a lot of restless nights, and you might actually really need more sound and deep sleep. But it's definitely about fear for me that is coming up. All right, let us begin. No one showed their cards today. Interesting. I think I'll start with the Divine Feminine I'm feeling. Ladies first today. And we're going to start with the headspace, of course. Top of the deck, overall head feeling or overall thoughts in the mind, in the headspace. We've got the Six of Swords. This is from the Wild Unknown Tarot. And it's a couple layers here. I see Divine Feminine feeling like thinking that it is time to move to a different shore. She's ready to do that. She's ready to move to another shore. She senses that the other shore holds a lot of promise for her. But I do sense that it's difficult to leave behind some of the painful experience she's had. It's difficult to fully let go of those experiences. She's still, I think, holding on to it. But she wants to move on from this place where she's constantly thinking about the bad things that happened or the doubts and fears and anxieties that we saw being the theme here. And actually, taking the lesson from these things and then moving on to much calmer waters. She's seeking calmer waters for sure. All right. And then in the back of the mind, the niggling thing that's underlying all the thoughts and decisions is the Seven of Wands. So she's got her guard up. I also see, because of the imagery in this, that she's really still holding on to that one flame, that one desire. And that flame is showing her that these other wands are just an illusion. Like, there is no competition for her heart, really. That's definitely underlying all her thoughts and feelings. I'm hearing her say, like, the second this person calls me, whatever else I have going on, I will leave behind. I will go where this flame leads me. But she's being guarded, defensive a bit in the heart space. It might make her feel like she can't quite let people in because she's got this flame she's holding on to there, this desire. The first thing on her mind is the Seven of Pentacles. It is in reverse. So we have a feeling of impatience. I've planted the seeds. Now, where the fuck is my harvest? Like, excuse me? Like, where is it? Why isn't it happening? I got it. So she's impatient. And I feel actually a loss here. Oh, I forgot. I got to flip over all these cards. I feel a bit of a loss in the energy of that card because it's like I planted the seeds. Why can't I harvest them? Why? The next card that's coming up is the Four of Cups upright. This is a strange Four of Cups. It's one of the weirdest Four of Cups. And even when you read the book, I'm still kind of like, I don't understand like why this is because I associate the Four of Cups with dreams, fantasies, grounding, meditation, missed opportunities, not accepting the offer, giving an offer. There's like a lot of things that I associate it with, but this card causes me to always think about hoarding. And I always hear that song from My Brightest Diamond about the rat in the kitchen that's eating my cheese. Always. And so when I see this, I feel that the person who is like, it was like what is being thought about is a rat that is hoarding these dreams and fantasies and missing the opportunity to actually experience this in the reality because they're so attached to their dream, to their fantasy. Think about rats. They take whatever they can get, right? they are just, they're scavengers. Like they're going to just take whatever they can get. There's a fear there, like a fear that I'm feeling coming from that. That's like, I'm not going to have a proper meal. I have to go get the scraps, right? I have to like, just hearing like scurrying around and like, God, I see rats all the time. Also, now Los Angeles is getting real dark, guys. Like, oh my God. I don't know what this place is going to be like. But DTLA is not looking good. So I definitely feel divine feminine really impatient with the masculine energy here. I definitely feel that she feels she's almost, it's so funny because with Bowie, when I walk her and she walks straight with her head up and, is close by me on the leash and I'm reinforcing with her, I'm like, oh, good girl. You're sitting pretty. Like you look at that pretty girl walking. Like I give her like positive vocal feedback. And then when she's pulling and got her head down and like sniffing furiously at the ground and like pulling on the leash, I'm like, you look like a rat. Here she is over there with her bison bone. Anyway, so she's got, and when I say that to her, she always looks back at me like offended, like, how dare you? But I feel the divine feminine has felt like that. Like she's had to like scurry along looking for any scraps from this masculine. And she's been holding on to this dream that he's going to give her more than that, but it's just not happening. She's not getting more than these scraps. All she really has been able to harvest is this continued fantasy. And it's painful. Here's the 10 of Swords. It's painful. The separation has lasted long enough and she wants it to be over. I'm pretty sure this is why we're seeing this good old 6 of Swords. If no one is harvesting anything, if the masculine is still not accepting the offer, still not communicating, still requiring her to like scurry along looking for scraps, she doesn't want that. She wants to move on from that. And it's really difficult because underlying all of these thoughts is her holding on to this flame. But this card, sometimes we are holding on to something and it's a detriment to ourselves, right? Who else is holding on to something? This rat, right? So it's not a feeling. She's not really liking these thoughts either. She doesn't want to focus on the separation or any of the pain from it. She probably would like to stay in fantasy. She'd like to just take those scraps and just stay in the fantasy of whatever, union energy she's trying to create. Clarifying the 7 of Pentacles in reverse is the Daughter of Cups. This is the Page of Cups energy. It is lovely, true love, innocent, apologies. It's a new offer of love. It's like a new start in love too. Like I just heard, could we start again, please? From Jesus Christ. I think you've made your point now. Okay, let's see. God, I love that play. That's one of my favorites of all time. Okay, anyway. So Divine Feminine, really impatient for this offer. She feels true love for this flame. She knows the flame loves her. It's not about a lack of love. It's directly reflecting her love. But where is it? Right? Where is it? This 4 of Cups energy, I really like this. It's being clarified by this 9 of Wands. And so we see that this Divine Feminine is thinking about this difficult journey. Look at, here we have this moon. There's no color here. This is black and white. Here we are finally seeing some color coming in. And now this moon is fully bright. It's light. It's lighting up. It's bringing us out of this dark energy. The dark energy of being stuck in fantasizing about receiving an offer that never comes. This has been a difficult journey. She's taken all of these steps to get to this point, but we're seeing her thinking, I have been healing these deep wounds. I want to say I isolated myself, and I did this painful, difficult work because I really, truly desired change. This Two of Pentacles. I wanted to balance. Normally in the Two of Pentacles, these are not balanced. But in this Two of Pentacles energy, we actually do see there's balance because there's been a transformation here. So Divine Feminine is thinking, it's time for this separation mentality. It's time for this mentality of being betrayed, of being hoarded, of missed opportunity, in regards to receiving love. It's time for that to end. And the only way for that to end is if I change how I approach myself and my relationships, and I learn from the struggle, the strife, and the pain, and move from these turbulent waters, this discontent, into these calmer, more peaceful waters. And it's about a decision. It's about me. Like, I have to change how I see the situation, right? Because this sword, this truth goes right through the eyes of this bison. Interesting that my dog decided to throw the bison bone on the floor, and then we're looking at it again. But yes, this is a beautiful energy, wanting to change our mind, wanting to change the way we think about missed opportunity. We've healed these wounds, right? These wounds have been healed. The light has come back into our life. And it's so interesting. Look at this. I wish I could turn the camera so you could just see my spread, but I'll try to hold it up. The way that I'm looking at this spread, this is the top. Right here. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. And then this is the bottom. Look at how the first thoughts are all black and white, and all the thoughts on the bottom are introducing color, perspective. It's like all the colors are finally starting to be seen, like she can see them. And this is changing her mind because she's realizing that she was looking at things maybe in the wrong way before. And that's why she felt stuck in that fantasy energy. She's realizing that fantasy isn't satisfying, and she wants to transform and live here and now in the present moment, and leave behind that. Look at that. Even this card, leave behind this black and white energy here, this black and white thinking without any gray areas and without any nuance or color, and move to a place where there is light and color and more to life. That's incredible. Also, I'm back on coffee. I missed it very much. But my break from it definitely lowered the amount of sugar I need in it, because I took a general break from having a shit ton of sugar. And it only took me 7 days, and I immediately went back into balance with it. It was really nice. But it's nice to have coffee again. Okay, so let's get to the heart space. Well, we had this Six of Swords here, the top of the deck overall head space, and the top of the deck overall heart space for the Divine Feminine is this lovely Three of Wands energy. And she is this is interesting. Headspace, impatient, awaiting this, this heartfelt apology, this I love you kind of energy. Impatient. Heart space, patient, has faith, sees the potential, can see the other shore. She can see it. She knows, oh, there it is. It's right there. And it's only for me. to change my thinking about it, right? So definitely themes of patience going on for Divine Feminine, patiently awaiting this up leveling that comes from the healing work that she's been doing. I love this reading today. It's I like that it's real. I feel like the reading that I did with Grace Draga on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah. And you can check out the replay on Instagram. I feel like that had the same kind of realism. It's like the week before, the twins were like, I use twins lightly, the counterparts. The counterparts were like, oh, like, I want to do this. And then last week was like, oh, fuck, I want to do this. Like, it's real, right? This 9 of Swords popped up. It was like, oh, shit. Like, I do see what I want. Like, I do see that I can do it. I can have it. But, like, fuck, I'm a little nervous about it. Okay. So the niggling thing in the back of the headspace, you might remember if you were here, was this 7 of Wands upright. And the niggling feeling in the heart space is this King of Cups. So we see who the flame is, potentially a water sign. There's so many noises going on outside right now. It's starting to stress me out all of a sudden. I'm moving soon. Just a few weeks. Oh my God. In like 2 weeks, I really need to do more. I just started packing yesterday. I started packing. Packing for me this time is really looking like taking shit to the garbage. That's really what I'm doing because I want to be able to just go anywhere, not stay in Los Angeles anymore. So I'm like, we're going to be down to like some precious decorations, some mementos, all my cards, some clothes, and like the rest I'm just going to kick to the curb because I'm over it. I'm over it. Okay. So Divine Feminine, niggling feeling in the heart space here. This King of Cups. This is a lovely, lovely man if you're talking gender, but I'm really talking not gender here. I'm talking masculine energy. This is, but we are being so loud. This is a kind, compassionate, caring, good husband, good father, very sensitive, has a hard time expressing feelings because he tends to hold them within. He's mastered them. He feels his feelings, but he holds them within because he doesn't want to cause any type of disruption. He doesn't want to cause conflict. And so Divine Feminine, we're seeing in the headspace, this is the flame that she's holding, right? The desire that she's holding to have this kind of a lovely person in her life. But the person that she holds this flame for is famous for this type of stuff. Just staying in a fantasy, withholding all of the feelings, not sharing, right? So Divine Feminine finds herself being patient with this masculine energy, however. She is having faith that this masculine energy is a good person and is working through whatever fears they have, just like she is, because she is feeling this person as a reflection of herself, right? So that's the flame she's holding on to. First position, impatience, clarified by the World. So she's really feeling this impatience in her head space because she feels in her heart space this completion, this all these pieces, parts of her world finally able to come together. So now that she feels that she's closed out some kind of a cycle of insecurity or like a lack of affection or lack of abundance or these things that she constantly was cycling through, she feels that she's closed those cycles. She's really fully closed those cycles and she's become truly vulnerable. Although interestingly, this Divine Feminine is fully clothed. Normally we're seeing a completely bare ass naked Divine Feminine like the star energy here, but she's fully clothed here. And I'm sensing that while she's vulnerable, she's still guarding her vulnerability because she hasn't yet seen this harvest. So she's ended cycles that should result in her receiving something, but she's not being truly vulnerable yet because of the impatience she feels. Like she's like, oh, there's enough doubt in there that's like, wait, maybe what I thought was going to be the culmination of this cycle isn't really what I thought. So she's a little afraid to be truly vulnerable. This Four of Cups, wow, is being clarified by the Five of Cups. I love progressions like that. And it's really, she's just really sad and disappointed about not being able to have this opportunity, that this masculine, this card being a card of missed opportunities. No, it's like no opportunities. He's not taken any opportunity to really enter her world, and it makes her sad. It makes her very sad. I do sense a feeling of trying to be optimistic because there is this beautiful bowl, and look what it's filled with, all the color that we saw coming out in the headspace. It's almost like here's the black and white energy, and she's got this color here ready to pour into her life, this happiness, this fulfillment, but she's just sad. She's like, I don't understand, like why we don't have any opportunities to come together when I feel that I've really healed and completed these cycles. So then why am I still here waiting? Why am I still waiting? Why? So I feel a lot of sadness there coming from that. I kind of want to cry almost, even though I personally feel okay. Like I'm getting that emotion coming up. What does she really desire? This Ten of Swords. I can't make it up. It's the Page of Cups again. And that is exactly what came after the Ten of Swords in the spread. So we're 2 times getting this Page of Cups energy. And she's really feeling in her heart space some doubt here because there's like a when pigs fly energy. And I think that's making her feel so sad. She's like, I don't know. I think this masculine energy is just too emotionally underdeveloped to actually give me this cup, give me this offer. And it makes me so sad, but I have hope. That's the next card that's coming out. I have hope. And it's clarifying. And the reason I'm holding it up is because it's literally clarifying this page of this Daughter of Cups. So it's like, there's a part of her that worries, the fear, the thing that's keeping her stuck right here is the headspace. This is what's sticking her. This part of this card, when pigs fly, okay? That doubt she has is sticking her. But her heart is bringing in this star energy. It's so interesting. I referenced the star in the card right above this position. I said the only other card that has really the same vulnerability is the star. And then interestingly, we see again a fully clothed feminine energy losing that vulnerability because she's keeping that guard up. She's hoping, but in a cautious, guarded way. She doesn't want to be painfully wounded again by her own fantasies that hurt. Like, so she's keeping some clothes on. She's not fully allowing true vulnerability to come through. But guess who else does that? The person she's focused on, right? They reflect that back to her. They reflect back the same cautiousness, the same inclination to protect themselves. And it's because they've been hurt just like her, and they've inflicted wounds. And it hurts when you realize you've inflicted a wound and you need to apologize. And so the person that she's focused on is reflecting back this same sort of thing. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm wearing my armor because I don't want to hurt you again and feel how bad it feels to have done that. I love that the star is also clarifying the world because it's that hope that these cycles are over, because this Nine of Cups, this reading is incredible in terms of the numbers, is being clarified by the Nine of Wands, is being clarified by the Nine of Cups. So this is literally the healing of the energy inside of self that causes you to be withholding. It's directly underneath this withholding energy of that Four of Cups, which is an unusual Four of Cups that shows us a hoarding energy. And then we have the card of hoarding and selfish sort of, this is my stuff and I'm not going to share it because I'm afraid that I'll lose everything. And I finally just got all of these cups and I don't want anyone to take it away. But this is what is being healed within her, because we see this light coming out. And rather than this kind of an energy, which we normally see from the Nine of Cups, we're seeing this light bursting from her, like her heart is open and she's fully expressing. And so and this is the card of getting your wish, and it's following the card of the wish. So it's like, I wish for this, and her heart is like, you're getting it. You're getting it. That is what is happening. Like, you are getting this wish fulfillment. You have done that healing. And then in a crazy coincidence, we'll call it, this Two of Pentacles that I talked about as the changing of the mind, that was clarifying this Ten of Swords and the Page of Cups, and there's the balancing. It's of that eternal connection. No more up and down. No more I give you more and you don't give me enough. None of that. No. This is being clarified by the Ten of Swords again, right here. And interestingly, the Moon. And I love this Moon card. It's one of my favorite Moon cards I think I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. I love a mermaid. And this is beautiful because it's the end of separation. She feels that change. She feels the change coming. And she's surrendering to the mystery, the unknown of how it will end, or, what will happen to end this focus on separation. She's doing meditation. I feel like, those of you who have started taking the advice about recording your own voice and your affirmations and listening to them as you go to sleep. It's like that subconscious reprogramming of this separation mentality. Not being chosen, being alone, all those kind of themes. In her heart space, she's feeling this transformative energy because she's decided to change her mind about all these subconscious beliefs that keep her out in the cold all by herself. I love this for us. Okay, let's now move along to the divine masculine side of self. Let me just flip over all these cards. Why do shirts always roll up? It's so annoying. I like this spread. I like this spread so far. Okay. I'm excited. Okay. Divine masculine, top of the deck, overall headspace. The star. Here it is. Union. I'm using the Labyrinth. This was the Light Seers Tarot, by the way, and I'm using the Labyrinth Tarot here for the Divine Masculine Headspace, which was a gift from Grace Strega. And you can go see our reading we did yesterday. No, Saturday. It was on Saturday, but it's on Grace Strega's Instagram. GREYSTREGA. Grace Strega. Go check it out. So Divine Masculine's headspace is hope. He has a wish and he has hope. He is seeing the Divine Feminine as this shining star, really comforted by her. In the film of Labyrinth, this bear is Sarah's childhood bear, and it's the bear that Toby, her baby brother, comes into her room and takes from her room and takes to his room so he can sleep with it. And she gets upset that he's taken this bear again because it's hers. And so she takes it back from him when she's angry. And then she has the whole, I wish the Goblin King would come and take me away right now thing. And that's what happens. Or take you away right now. And then in the end, she gives the bear to Toby. She heals the ego in her, the self, like the jealousy, the sibling rivalry. So she's healed these like ego-based feelings, and instead embraces Toby, realizes that she loves him, that she would be so upset if he wasn't in her life. Like she feels fully healed in that energy and no longer is jealous or anything like that. And I see this divine masculine hoping that he's healed and that the feminine has done the same thing. And in that journey that Sarah has, that he's especially healed that, being really possessive, being jealous, being wanting to take something from her to make her pay for doing what she did to him. There's like that feeling in there coming from that card. The niggling thing in the back of the mind is the 10. I'm sorry, not the 10, the 9. The 9 of junk. Oh, God. Or the 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles, of course, is the reward. It is in traditional imagery. We see a divine feminine here. So we get this sense of like there is a specific divine feminine this masculine is attracted to. There's also an energy of returning that comes from the 9 of Pentacles. This is such a strange, and I'm going to say it, unsatisfying, dissatisfying. Is it dissatisfying deck? Because it's like, if you're going to do junk, you have so many like options for the items that you put on the card. And what the fuck are these? And what the fuck is this? Like, as a reader, what do I get out of this except for forks? And are these dumbbells? Like, I don't know. I just feel like they really missed the boat on this deck. Like, they could have imbued this with so much more meaning than just, I mean, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Like, I don't understand. I just want to call them and be like, can we redo this deck? Can we reissue this deck and make it make sense and make it whoever, can we have somebody who knows how to do, who knows what the tarot cards mean, do this fucking deck? Okay, anyway. If I didn't love the movie so much, but it's an interesting feeling I'm having about it. The masculine is like definitely thinking about the divine feminine in her single and fabulous energy, because we brought up these themes about how the healing journey that Sarah is on is releasing the ego. 9:22 on the clock is releasing that ego-based behavior that is about jealousy, coveting. And this junk is stuff we covet, right? Things that we covet. So I see this masculine kind of hoping the divine feminine he's hoping that he's healed this part of himself that is so jealous of her in this single energy, because part of the reason why I think he's having trouble coming forward is because she might be available, single, dating, and he feels that fear that came up in the beginning of the reading with that theme, that 9 of Swords. And I think also there is a feeling here of cruelty, like some aspect of, you know, his cruelty, he's now getting some karma. It's like, who was in the single fabulous energy before? And now divine feminine's in it. But we're seeing that his headspace, his awareness is that he has to heal that covetousness, because I'm going to read you something. In the book My Dog Ate, do you understand that books are precious to me? So when I came home and found this, I was like, I'm going to call a shelter and we're going to, I was really sad. Because I like my books to be in pristine pristine shape, okay? But what I want to share with you is the coveting of someone else's wife, as described by this wonderful commentary by Jean-Yves Leloup. And I just have to find it. My apologies, because I have to find where it is. But I'm determined to, because it's one of the best things I ever read. Honestly. Gosh dang it. Here we go. You may refrain from adultery. The original meaning of adultery is betrayal of the real, of lying to one. By the way, they go back and they look at the Old Testament Hebrew and they translate it much more literally and less like from the perspective of somebody who's trying to have an advantage, like a political advantage, when they create a text. But anyway, the original meaning of adultery is betrayal of the real, of lying to oneself by knowingly allowing a reflection to usurp the place of the light itself, or in other words, idolatry. This commandment means, above all, to refrain from regarding a partner in a way that indulges our craving or makes him or her into an object or a tool at our service. Adultery exists in the very heart of even a monogamous marriage when a partner is regarded in this way. We are unfaithful to our partner when we cease to see him or her as one who has the same birthright of freedom as ourselves. We deceive a partner when we make him or her into an object, and we deceive ourselves when we call this love. But you may abandon this atmosphere of lies and adultery. You may love others for who they are, whether you keep your vow to them or refuse to make it. Nothing and no one can force you to stay with someone, nor force you to leave them. I love that description of thou shalt not commit adultery, because it's not at all what we thought about in the past. It's like, just like coveting someone else's wife or going and committing adultery with someone, whatever. The adultery is actually to the self, and it's when you're idolizing or objectifying. And so the masculine is now having some kind of a karmic experience that is teaching him this concept that he was committing adultery by not giving the feminine the same birthright of freedom and autonomy that he allowed himself. And that's a beautiful realization to have in the headspace. The first thing on his mind is Sarah. Here she is. It's the divine feminine taking the leap. Also, this is the only depiction of Sarah in this deck. I don't understand this deck. Anyway, but this is the Fool energy. This is the blank slate taking the leap. It's interesting because she literally is outside with her dog. So they literally could have included her dog in this picture, which literally would have been just like the Fool, but they didn't. I don't know why, but anyway, normally we see a dog that is maybe barking caution or just like running along, frolicking, encouraging her, but we don't see it this time. So he's thinking he wants this divine feminine to take the leap, not to be cautious, and just actually take the leap. And he doesn't want to start hesitating, or he doesn't want to continue hesitating to take that leap towards her either. He wants her to be willing to start fresh with him. And he's excited about it. We're getting the Page of Poles. The Page of Wands has been coming up quite a lot in readings. It came up a lot in the reading on Saturday with Grace Strega. And I keep getting it all the time. And it's this new energy, it's burgeoning sexual energy. It's excitement. It's fresh inspiration. It's feeling inspired. interestingly, he's holding a carrot. And I'm just thinking he's dangling a carrot, actually. And it's almost like I feel like I'll let you just think of silly things about the dangling carrot. Okay, we're going to move to the next card. The next card is the Queen of Wands. Now, this is divine feminine energy typically. Again, what are they thinking? Who is this character? Why is this? What is going on? I shouldn't read for this deck because I'm always just like, why? Why? Anyway, so the Queen of Wands, a character we've never had any relationship with in the film, and is not attractive, but is attractive normally. Okay, this is a magnetic queen. This is the divine queen. This is a spiritual queen. But it's funny because this queen doesn't look, she looks scary, right? She looks scary. She looks intimidating. And I think the divine masculine is afraid of either a former feminine that's not so nice, might be really jealous, have a lot of wrath or something, or there's just a lot of intimidation about the feminine's divinity, about her psychic abilities, about her powers of manifestation. She's a formidable queen. So I do feel there's intimidation here. And that's why we're seeing this, we want this new beginning, but we're all geared up. We're armored up. We're wearing a mask and we're dangling this carrot. And I see that this masculine has engaged in this really inefficient and ineffective communication. This is like he likes your post, or he you send an emoji reaction to his story and he likes it. It's like, cool story, bro. Literally. Like you don't have more than that. You're not like, my God, you look so incredibly beautiful. You look so amazing. Like, I can't believe how good you look. Like all I want to do is look at you all day long. Like, why isn't that the message? And it's so funny because this masculine is like, I don't want the divine feminine to be with anyone else. And yet is just dangling a carrot and not really initiating much conversation with her because he feels like this little page up against this beautiful queen. And then we've got Hoggle as the Hierophant. Why? Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, but why? Why is Hoggle the Hierophant? Okay. It's clarifying it's clarifying the cool energy, okay? So the Hierophant is the spiritual journey, it's spiritual ascension, higher level thinking, authority, tradition. I guess we could say that Hoggle just goes with the tradition that he's been trained to do. He just does what Jareth says. Like, Jareth is the authority figure that controls what Hoggle does in the film. I'm reaching here, Labyrinth Tarot. Do you see me reaching to read your fucking deck? Okay. But anyway, that's true though. Jareth is controlling Hoggle. So Hoggle is under the control of it's 9:33 on the clock, of this higher level authority. And so this masculine is thinking that divine feminine, to a certain extent, is being controlled by some sort of traditional concepts. This is also about the commitment and faith. He's hoping that this feminine has faith in him to be able to take the leap, because ultimately Hoggle defies Jareth. He defies tradition and authority because of his love for Sarah. He doesn't want her to get hurt or be trapped in Jareth's labyrinth and become one of the little goblins. So he very much defies authority in order to be with her. So I see this masculine thinking, I need to defy my traditional ways of behavior. I need to defy potentially a commitment to someone else or a vow that I've made or something in order to be able to actually take this new beginning with her. I'm doing a great job reading this terrible deck. Okay, we've got the Knight of Cups. It's not me, actually. I'm just the vessel, but I'm just saying, whoever, like, thank you, spirit guides, because these messages. This is the Knight of Junk. It's the slowest moving knight in the deck. And it's interesting because they've chosen to depict it with these rocks, which in the film actually move fast. It's kind of funny. It's like funny looking. This is clarifying the Page of Poles. So I see here Divine Masculine reflecting about how he has proceeded, how he has approached the feminine, and it's not great. This is withholding energy. It's perfectionism. And this is why he's taken made such small gestures, dangled this carrot, because everything wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect enough for this scary queen, so he couldn't give her the offer. Even if the offer was solid and reliable, one of commitment, one of starting fresh with her and having a marriage, he just couldn't do it. He was too afraid, honestly. That's why that Nine of Swords is our theme today. And what is clarifying this Queen of Wands? Justice. So for sure, this Divine Masculine is experiencing karma. He's experiencing justice, and he wants to bring justice to the connection. I love that the last card for the feminine in the headspace is a finally balanced connection, a transformation of something that's up and down, back and forth, unbalanced, imbalanced, with this card of balance. It's the same. This is a minor version and a major version of balance. But this masculine is definitely receiving major karma. And it could be that this feminine energy he's experiencing not just as the divine feminine, but as any other feminine energy that he may have fucked with at this point. He's experienced a good spank from the universe in regards to it. Oh my God. I just posted oh my God. My friend, actually her name is Sarah. My friend Sarah posted like a meme thing. And there was this one that said, things we hated as children, taking naps and being spanked. And then things we love as adults, taking naps and being spanked. Stop. I was dead. I was like, true though. I like a little spank once in a while. Not too hard. I'm not into pain. Okay. So the top of the deck, overall heart space for the masculine energy. Boom. Page of Swords. I love it. I love it. Curiosity and working up the bravery that he needs. However, I also see a little bit of watching the star. So we've got somebody who's intimidated. Remember, this beast right here, we can't see. She might come out in the other cards because I don't know what's coming in this little stack here. But this beast in the Prisma Visions Tarot, which is an incredible tarot that has all the minor arcana, is actually a panoramic storyline. It's a gorgeous deck. It's really deep. I highly recommend it. And in the swords suit, the beast that they're fighting is a huge and terrifying swan with fangs, teeth. Yeah, it does not look good. And then swans mate for life. So whenever I have this deck, I always feel that this is really this dealing with these issues of commitment. And so we've got this masculine that's curious about this divine feminine, curious about if she's committed to anybody else, and fighting off his own fears of commitment so that he can give himself what he wishes for, which is to actually be with her. But I do see him sort of just feeling like just watching her probably doing a lot of spying, honestly, and wearing a mask. These characters have masks on. They actually have plague masks on, which is weird. I got this I got this before the pandemic, I think, and it's just weird. But but wearing a mask and spying, maybe they're using a private account or they're not showing themselves to be seeing or watching your stories. Like, I don't know if the person that I used to think is my twin wised up and got an app that no longer has the like third part, because they usually use those like anonymous accounts or something, because I'm not seeing it anymore, or if that person just did finally stop watching my stories. Like, I'm like, I wonder what they did. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles being clarified by this Seven of Cups energy. So in the head space, it's this divine feminine energy, and in the heart space, it's the single and fabulous divine feminine energy, and in the heart space, it is that Seven of Cups, which is that confusion, and there's all these options, potential suitors, all these opportunities the feminine has. The masculine is so willing to be brave right now because he's so aware that a Queen of Wands that's highly magnetic, very attractive, is going to get whatever option she wants. And he needs to cut through the bullshit, cut through the fog and the confusion that he has left her in with this dangling carrots and, withholding energy, and actually choose the divine feminine so that she will choose him too. The first card of the Fool is being clarified by the Knight of Cups. So divine masculine is feeling willing to ride the wave of his emotion, his feelings for this feminine, and fully express to her. And this would be a new start for him because he's not normally done that. And he's absolutely hoping that she will take the leap when he does come in. This is very difficult for him because he's been very wishy-washy. And that's why there's fear for this feminine to step forward, because he's gone back and forth, right? But we saw a balancing energy happening in the feminine side of self, and we see a balancing in the headspace of the masculine with that Justice card. So it seems possible that this feminine may be able to take this leap if the masculine is fully balanced in his energy and no longer, back and forth, but actually transformed and made up his mind and made some kind of a decision. This Page of Wands energy, that's being clarified by the Devil. This was this karmic cycle the masculine was stuck in. This, a lot of times we get the Devil card, people talk about karmic relationships, karmic partnerships, and everybody's thinking like, oh, he's just having sex with a bunch of people. But the Devil card has so much more nuance. First of all, it's a lot about pleasure and receiving pleasure. And it's not always about a sexual relationship with somebody. In this case, what we're seeing, the karmic is the energy is actually a behavior, not a person. And the behavior is the dangling of the carrot, the fear to actually pick up the sword and go forward because you don't feel quite equipped to do that. And instead, not wanting to lose the opportunity, you just keep dangling the carrot. This has been this really problematic, cruel cycle that the masculine has been in regards to the feminine. And there's also here that spark, that feeling. He feared that the divine feminine's feelings for him were only an infatuation or an obsession. He feared that a lot because he felt that pull too, and felt his own infatuation and obsession, right? With the Star. This is an incredibly nuanced reading here. We've got the Queen of oh, there it is, the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. And there's that swan beast. I didn't know if we would see her, but we're actually going to be seeing quite a lot of the swan beast, it looks like. But there's that beast. We saw him willing to face off, and see how these cards work. They're so good. They are so good. Look at that. Page. Incredible deck. Anyway, in this instance, this knight is facing off this beast. Now, what's really fascinating about this deck is the 9 of Swords, not knight, but 9, which we pulled as our theme. It actually is the same image here. It shows the same character, but rather than taking the sword and facing this beast in the 9 of Swords, they are just surrendered to the fear. They can't even face it. But this masculine is facing his fear about approaching this feminine and communicating to her, perhaps about somebody who was obsessed or attached or in a past commitment to him. Because I do see this energy of somebody being not so nice, not, maybe wrathful, maybe aggressive. And the masculine is willing to face off this energy to swiftly come through and bring that justice, which is right underneath this card, to the Queen of Wands, to his divine feminine. There's so many layers there, because I could see this as both the Queen of, as both the divine feminine herself, and I can also see this as a past partner that the masculine had a commitment to, who's jealous or angry about his feelings of affection that he has for the divine feminine. So there's also that going on in this spread as well. And this can also be a mother, maternal energy that doesn't want her son to have any relationships because she's fucked up. Like, that happens, right? That totally happens. I do not have that. My son is in relationships and I'm like, go for it. Like, like, you're a Gemini. You're going to have so many relationships. He literally has had like 3 girlfriends in like a month. And I'm like, oh, that's a Gemini. All right, let's see. He's also so self-aware. Like, he was telling me, Mom, I'm really clingy and stuff. And like, I think it's because like of how I didn't get to live with you. And like, I just feel like clingy. And I was like, yep, that's probably why I fucked your life up. No, just kidding. I gave you a challenge to overcome so you'd have an interesting time on the planet Earth. Also, I would have been with you if it wasn't for your dad. So I guess it wasn't fully my fault. But anyway, moving on. This Hierophant energy that is below the Fool and the Knight of Cups. This is the sacred union, the higher level learning, the spiritual journey, yada, yada, yada. It's being clarified by that Knight of by the 10 of Swords, which this is the 3rd time we're seeing the 10 of Swords. We got it 2 times over here for the divine feminine in actually the same placement. It literally was clarifying itself, which I love when that happens. It's so fantastic. But so in this case, look at this, what's happened. So this knight very bravely facing this beast that at one point in time had him stuck, right? He couldn't get out of that. He was completely pinned. He was completely stuck in some kind of a marriage. And that has ended. Whatever vow or commitment, whatever authority had control over Hoggle to keep him from helping Sarah, that's over now. Oh my God, this reading. Okay, and this separation that he's been in from the feminine, that is over. That's ending, completed. And this Knight of Pentacles is being clarified by the Page of Pentacles. And we see somebody very, very thoroughly assessing the offer. So this is regressive, right? Because we've got Page to Knight energy, but this Knight is withholding and this Page is a little bit more excited about what they have to offer. He hasn't moved into the stage of needing to be a perfectionist. He's honestly just got the offer. It's like whatever was going on is over. He's ended that situation with the karmic person or a long-term commitment or a marriage or whatever. And that is now over. So he finally can take a look at that offer that he's been withholding. He can finally make some kind of a material gesture, take a small step, rather than sitting there and trying to figure out the best plan that's going to make this offer look good so he doesn't get rejected. He's actually back in the mindset of a child, which is good, because you have to be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. Look at the difference. Look at how bleak this landscape is. And look at this one. It's lush and fertile and exciting. And he's now able to be like, here. And I have chills because this Justice card, I also feel tears coming up. This Justice card is being clarified by this Ace of Swords, which is exactly what you need to face your demons, right? To face the things you've done, to tell the truth. So this masculine is going to bring this justice about. He's going to communicate directly about the karmic situation, about the things that kept him from coming forward, about what made it so difficult for him to return to his divine feminine. I love that. And what will end that 10 of Swords, of course, with that truth, which we saw piercing the eyes of that bison in this image. Blinded by the light. Okay. Let us heal the twins. We're going to start with Divine Feminine Oracles. We're going to go over the archetypes that will help her this week. The guardians that are with her, the mindset that will help her, any ritual work she should do, releasing and rebuilding with the moon and the light work. I'm trying to work your light deck. There we go. And I'm just going to download work. I was like, wait, what's it called? And the Animal Spirit Oracle. So we're going to do that and then your theme for the week. So we're going to go over each side and then we will close out with the energy that we're both in union with. Hi, everybody. I see a lot of people here in the room today. Thank you for joining me. Let us now begin with Divine Feminine. She got 2 archetypes today. So these are the archetypes that we need to work on this week. We have the Hedonist. Who, me? It is in the shadow attributes. Pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. Indulges at the expense of others. What? You need to call in the light, which is inspire creative energy to embrace the good things in life and celebrating the beauty in yourself. So, girl, I love a hedonist. I definitely am a hedonist. But when you're pursuing pleasure too much, when you're being too indulgent, it's time to curb it a little bit. So I don't know if this has been, sometimes we counter that 9 of Swords energy, the fear and anxiety, with comforting behaviors. And that includes sex with other people, foods and substances, like sleeping way too much, rather than doing what you're supposed to be doing, playing video games, like that kind of stuff. Just, it's fine to enjoy those things in life, but in a balanced way. And so I feel the feminine might have kind of leaned into that fear and that defensiveness and got her guard up, and she's trying to comfort herself and maybe has gone a little too far down that road. And it might not be the best thing for her. And it's honestly, she's indulging herself at the expense of someone else. So it could be that she's like kind of indulging listen, we saw the masculine go through this. So I think we're seeing the feminine go through this. I think that feminine, who has been real tired and impatient of waiting for her person, has maybe started to indulge a little bit in some others, because we saw the masculine being jealous and we saw that that 9 of Pentacles energy where the feminine is maybe being self-indulgent. So it's possible that she's being physical with somebody and she doesn't really have any sort of long-term plan for that person. And as we continue to be physical with somebody, whether we intend to be with them long-term or not, every time you do that, your brain is releasing oxytocin, which is the bonding chemical. You are emotionally bonding with somebody and you are closing yourself off to other opportunities of emotionally bonding with the person that actually fulfills your needs. So I do see the feminine maybe needing to pull back in this energy. And I'm irritated by that because I was fucking celibate for 3 years, but God damn it, I can totally see this is true. Like I'm getting my needs met, which is something that I really needed to do. But I can see that as I continue to do that, that the person I'm doing that with is likely not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for that person to just walk away. Whereas I still am holding on to my flame. So I'm sort of just indulging myself and it's at that person's expense. Fuck! I'm being like the masculine son of a bitch. Okay. Anyway, I had to do it at least once, right? So, and also there's that part of me that's like, but what if 9:55 on the clock, 1:11? I'm not even going to finish that statement. I know who my twin is. Okay. This is where Divine Feminine is in the light, though. This is the gossip card, the archetype. Awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. So this is lovely. This is a lovely pairing because in this card, we might be indulging ourselves at the expense of someone else. However, we are awakening to consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. So a conversation needs to be had. A conversation needs to be had in order to honor trust with the person that she might be indulging with no real intention of long-term connection. And definitely this is just watching your words in general, talking about what you want and not what you don't want. Your guardian that's going to help you this week is Saint Joan of Arc. You are a leader. So Saint Joan of Arc was a rebel. She was a spiritual rebel, quite a formidable one. You know, history remembers Joan of Arc, of course, and we reference her a lot. And we talk about her as being this, feminine who took on this masculine leadership role. But I don't think we can fully appreciate this now because, we've had female prime ministers and we've had a female vice president, and wow, one in the history of America. We should be so proud of ourselves for having one female that's represented. Also, having to be in your masculine energy to lead is the only way usually accepted, right? However, we do not, I think, fully acknowledge the terrifying danger that she had to face to put on a man's uniform and go into battle and lead a battle during this time period. Like, it's the same with Hildegard von Bingen. When I pull Hildegard von Bingen's card and we're like, wow, this is an incredible woman who is a writer, a painter, a spiritual author. She led her own, she was the Mother Superior of a convent, which never happened before. That had never happened ever before. Never in the written history of Western, recorded Western history, has anyone ever done these things. So it's an incredible, powerful energy. And that is who's helping lead you so that you can have that same kind of rebellious originality, like doing something no one's ever done before. This is the mindset that is going to help you this week. When I lean toward love, I am led. You can't get it wrong if you lean toward love. So if I were to have a conversation with this person that I'm enjoying, I would need to lean toward love, which would be an open, honest conversation about how I have intentions for someone else completely and I'm just getting my needs met. Right? We've already had that conversation, but every time you're getting more and more bonded. So in your relationships, you lean toward love and it leads you. And I love that you got this card, you're a leader. And then it says, when I lean toward love, I am led. So you are needing to lead the way through love, divine love, and being led by love, led by the divine, which is exactly what Joan of Arc did. And she's going to help you with that mindset. The ritual work that you might want to do this week would have something to do with confidence. This is the Archangel Michael. Remember when that person in the chat told me there was only one archangel and it was Michael? And I was like, what? What about Archangel Gabriel? They literally appeared to Mary. Whatever. That was fun. Anyway, Archangel Michael is the angel that stands against demons, helps you feel confident, imbues you with confidence. So you might want to do some work to call in this energy. If you don't resonate with angels, that's totally fine. You can use color in your wardrobe. You can use yellows and oranges and bright colors to enhance your solar plexus energy. You can do something that, honestly, I'm just hearing the song. Listen to the song from The Sound of Music. I am confident. There's a whole song that she sings. She's like, I am confident and confidence alone, right? Go listen to that. Put that on. Put music on that makes you feel confident. Do something on a daily basis that boosts this for you. And there's a difference between confidence and false confidence. I'm a Leo. I am extraordinarily gifted at false confidence, especially with my Pisces rising sign, because I can tell myself any fantasies I want. And then I'm like, yeah, bitch, that's right. But there's true confidence, not just false confidence. And you really want to distinguish between that, which is honestly hard for me because I'm constantly confident and insecure. Love that. Okay. So this is the release energy that's coming up, the timing energy. It says full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Now, we saw that 10 of Swords all over the place. So we know that this is true. This is reinforcing, I think, that you need to release the concept of approaches and embrace the new thinking of, bitch, the end of the tough cycle is now. How do I know? I'm ending it. Who's responsible for a tough cycle? Me. I know you don't like to hear that because you like to imagine that there's all these factors externally existing that are keeping you in a tough cycle. Nope. The 10 of Swords is composed of a bunch of swords that are pinning you down or sticking you. But the swords are not real. They're not actually implements of violence. They are your own thoughts. They are your own worries, your own concerns, your own fears. And the moment that you release them, which is what this deck is about, releasing with the moon and creating new intentions, the moment you release your fears, your tough cycle is over because it's a cycle you're stuck in your head only. Okay, the work your light for this week is the inner temple, devotion, and tuning into the portal of your heart. There's an emphasis here. You're at the collective tune-in. So my feeling is that you are getting very tuned into your heart space right now. You are listening to the messages from God or your higher self or source or whatever you want to call it. or you're simply reflecting upon what you're manifesting in your reality right now by seeing what cards are coming out. If you're more of the Neville Goddard school and you believe that, you know, these cards are just a reflection of what you keep thinking, then this is what you're thinking. But you're tuning into what you're thinking. You're getting a sense of where the gaps are and how you need to fill them. It's like anytime I hear myself say something that I don't want to be true, I'm like, okay, how do I affirm the opposite of this thing? Like, you know, if I'm like, I'm afraid that I'm making the wrong choice about the person that I'm giving my energy to, then I need to affirm I am always in tune with the right decisions. I am always able to make good decisions. I have always made good choices for myself. I am, you know, just you have to just turn it around and reprogram your brain and record your voice saying that and listen to it at night before you go to sleep as you're falling asleep. That's what I've been doing, and look how beautiful I am. All right, Wolf Spirit. This is your guardian. She's running around in the background. She's making a lot of noise today. She's definitely been present. My big old wolf over here. Shh, don't tell the state of California. They will take her from me. 67. She is a German Shepherd Husky. That's what we're saying. 67. She might be larger than a Husky already at 8 months old, but she is not a wolf. Okay. Wolf Spirit leads you deep into the enchanted forest that holds the secrets to your life. Can you sense her beckoning you to follow, asking you to take all you have learned and all you are learning and make it yours? Can you integrate it all into your body, mind, and spirit? Whatever lessons you learned along the way, do not leave them unexamined. Be loyal to your dreams, to your soul, and to turning knowledge into wisdom and experience into magic. You are the one you have been waiting for. Be still and know that the sound of your heart beats in harmony with the whole world. The appearance of Wolf Spirit is an auspicious omen that says you are truly in alignment with your destiny. I love this. And your theme for this week, the Four of Cups. We talked so much about the Four of Cups today. In the feminine side here, this was the 4 and the 5 of Cups that came up, but here's that 4 of Cups. Now look at the difference between these two images. This says luxury, and we're seeing all this water pouring into all of these cups here. There's a rat sitting on top of this cup. Ain't nothing gonna get into these cups. Nothing from the divine is coming into those cups. So it's a different kind of energy, right? It's like changing your 4 of Cups. Your fantasies have been about what you're not getting. And you need to make your fantasies about what you want to receive, not what you don't want to receive. If you want to be in luxury, then you need to feel luxurious right now. Think about yourself in that way. If you want somebody to receive the offer that you're giving or to give you an offer and you receive it, then fantasize about that. And if you feel fears coming up, figure out what the fears are telling you, turn it around, and affirm the opposite. So that's your work. This is also meditation and getting more grounded, being a bit more practical, a little bit less ethereal. All right, Divine Masculine, let's look at you. You are in the light attributes of the hero or the heroine, a passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So you're actually really passionate about overcoming these obstacles, and you're getting your power back through this work that you're doing, and you're feeling really, really good and supercharged in it. You're no longer just functioning in a state of escapism and a false sense of heroism. Like you don't feel like it's your job to save the feminine. In fact, you feel both of you rising, ascending to this peak moment of this union. And the thing about this journey is when you're climbing a mountain, which I rarely do, I climb a lot of mountains in my brain, but I don't really do a lot of whole mountain climbings. But there is that thing that happens when I've been dragged out up onto a mountain before. When you've been hiking and hiking and hiking, and you're like, is this ever going to end? Especially if you're me and there's bugs. And then you get to that point where you're like, I just want to go back. And your friend is like, no, it's just up here. But you can't see it because your friend's been there before. They've gone to the top of this mountain. They know how to get there. And so when they're at this point, they're like, no, it's just right there. But you're over here and you're like, oh, I can't see the end. You can't see this person climbing up this other side. So you're just like, oh, I just want to give up. But you're not giving up. You're feeling, nope, we're both ascending. We're both getting to that peak. And it's not my job to collect the feminine and bring her to the top. She's rising to the top on her own. Saint Cecilia, my guardian, she is helping you right now with playing music. This is being creative. This can be serenading somebody, really, like actually serenading them. I serenaded everybody this morning. I sang Dream a Little Dream to everybody today. But this is definitely like also being playful too. Whenever I see play, it's just people play music because it's fun to do. So Saint Cecilia is here to support you in that in general. But in the arts, in creativity, and this is listening to music also and receiving those messages. Look at that guardian angel there who gives these messages through this music. So the music that you're playing should be inspiring that journey of self-empowerment. That's the messages you should be hearing again and again. Energy flows where my intention goes. This has to be your mindset this week, Divine Masculine. If you intend to come forward with the truth, then that's where the energy is going to go. If you intend to withhold, then that's where the energy is going to go. And if you have an intention to go forward, but you fear that you can't accomplish your intention, then your energy is going to be divided. This is the ritual work that you might do this week having to do with peace. So I'm seeing meditation, I'm seeing prayer, I'm seeing inspiration coming. I just got some messages, a lot of messages. Okay. And it's 10:11. Of course, I had to look at the clock or look at my phone. Okay, I see you. I can't play with you right now. Go get it. So definitely doing some work. I'm seeing like if you're comfortable doing the rosary, because I'm seeing that as a really peaceful activity, but something with mantra or repetition. This is peaceful music, sound frequencies, and just allowing the Holy Spirit to fill you. A win-win outcome is forecast. So release any fear that it is not. There is that justice card coming up, and it is absolutely promised to you that you can take time. I didn't realize there's two cards here, that you can take the time to breathe out now because there is this win-win. Take a deep breath, dive in, you're going to win. Relax, breathe out, you're okay. Breathe out all the negativity, breathe out everything. This is the disseminating moon and the full moon in Libra. So there's definitely going to be justice here. So just breathe out any fear that that's not going to be the case. There's going to be this balancing of the scale. They always balance. You've heard about the law of attraction. You've heard about the law of assumption. And there's the law of polarity. And there's this pendulum. What goes up must come down, right? There will be justice. The crumbling, what are you clinging onto? So Divine Masculine, whatever you are clinging onto, I'm seeing specifically some fears here about rejection coming from that Knight of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles energy for sure. Fear and anxiety regarding your cyclic behavior, regarding past partners, let go, release it. Don't hold on to it anymore. It's crumbled. It's gone. You're the one holding it. You're the one that's like, oh, Divine Feminine's not going to forgive me for this shit. That is bullshit. Have you forgiven Divine Feminine? I think you have. Or you wouldn't be understanding the justice that comes from you having been in your Nine of Pentacles energy and being single and spreading your seed. You wouldn't feel compassion. You wouldn't feel a sense of justice. You wouldn't be like, well, the pendulum swung this way, so I guess it has to swing this way. That's releasing of the ego. That's understanding that it's not about you. It's not about you, and it never was, right? That's let go of the ego trying to tell you that everybody's doing shit because of you. You're not that special. And then we are getting Porcupine Spirit, time for beginner mind. So this is definitely going along with that Fool. It is the 48th card. When Porcupine Spirit calls your name, you are being asked to adopt a beginner's mind and to approach situations with innocence and curiosity. The old confining stories no longer have a hold on you. Life is full of surprises hiding in plain sight. Looking at the world afresh with new eyes can help you find what you have been seeking, whether it is a relationship, an opportunity, or evidence that you have all you need right now to co-create what you desire. Who knew? Porcupine asks you to be playful and have a childlike curiosity. There is so much waiting for you that you have yet to discover. So there's that play again. And there's a big old, I don't know what type of bird that is. I think it's a raven. I keep seeing a big ass raven over on the roof on the other side. But yeah, Porcupine Spirit is just like that, Fool energy. And being playful, coming from that play music card too. Like, be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. Divine Masculine, your theme for this week is the 8 of Cups. Walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. The fears of the karmic retribution, the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, clinging to old structures, old paradigms, old messages of authority that don't apply to you anymore. Walk away and return to your higher calling, return to the divine feminine, your true calling, your true nature. We're at that point now where we're going to do these final cards for the union. This is the final oracles for both the masculine and feminine energy. Before I do that, I would just like to thank you all for being here today. Please smash the like button if you're here, or if you really did like this, and comment below. That helps grow my channel. I am over 500 subscribers now. I would love to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you can share my channel with somebody that you think would benefit from my messages, that is one of the best ways you can support me currently. Another way you can support me is to click any of the links below. Go explore the website, book a personal reading. I am moving in a couple of weeks, and I have $42 right now. $52. I need way more than that. So book personal readings today. Even if they're for the future, even if you don't have time to schedule them for the next 2 weeks, please book them now. It would be really helpful for me. Click the support button on my website. Send any donation. Also be helpful. And you can, there's something else you can do. Oh, yeah. You can join the Spiritual Nourishment course if you're interested, which is 4 weeks of readings, meditation, journal prompts that help you get in tune with the divine feminine intuition. And we start with the basic component of the throne, which is nourishment. Bowie. It's like when you notice something and then it's just so much worse. Like, what are you even doing? And then finally, you can catch me 6 days a week for the most part, usually on TikTok. Here on YouTube, I do Mondays. On Thursdays and Fridays, I do members only readings, full length, some of them almost 2 hours long. The Tell Me Everything spread, which is very popular because you get to hear your person tell you everything. if you're interested in those, please become a member. It's only $3.33 a month. And it's starting to get a nice little group of people that have built up there. And each person that joins, that just helps support me. It gives me a baseline. I know the income that I'm going to receive, and that's very helpful to me. So if you want to support me, those are the best ways. And I will see you, if you are a member, on Thursday for the Tell Me Everything spread. And then, of course, Grace Strega and I always read either Saturday or Sunday, an hour live on TikTok where you can ask questions. We will answer questions for you, do readings for you live. And then we go over to Instagram to do a check-in over there. And the replays are all available on Grace Strega's page. And you can find her. There's a collaborative post on my Tuned In Tarot page, too, if you can't find Grace Strega. But you should be able to find her. GreyStrega. Is that everything? Oh, and I've been doing readings around 7 p.m. or so in the evening, 7 p.m. Pacific Coast time. In the evenings, it's kind of spontaneous, but you can kind of check TikTok and see if I'm up around that time. And I started doing a new one, which I'm probably going to keep doing, which is karmic soulmate or twin flame relationship. And I sort of pull a card and then tell you how to handle the situation, whichever card comes up. So I've been doing that lately, and I liked that, and I think I'm going to keep doing that. So check me out on TikTok. Okay, sorry, that was a lot of things. Look at Bowie. Look how cute she is. Oh my God. Look at you. Look at you. So cute. Here is the archetype that you are both in right now, the rebel. And I love that because we talked about Joan of Arc being a rebel. This is challenges authority to affect social change and rejecting spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. So this is an absolutely necessary. This is hanged man energy. That's why we're seeing her in a tree here. You definitely need to have this kind of energy to be able to go forward in the world, because you are always having to challenge the authority of the status quo to affect the change that you are called here to do. And you're both in the light of that right now. It's Hildegard von Bingen. I talked about her and she's here. I love that. I really didn't know she was coming out. That makes me I love her. She is fierce, okay? She did some incredible things. And she is here as your guardian right now to help you believe. And the fact that I talked about her, didn't know she was going to come out in the reading, and then she brings me this card of belief, it's like making me tear up, honestly. The mindset that will help you. The universe works fast and I'm having fun. Oh my God. This was in reverse because you're not thinking that. This is in reverse because your mindset is, all these cards are falling over. Hang on. Because your mindset has been, oh my God, stand up card. Your mindset has been, this shit is slow and it's fucking painful. No. The universe works fast and I'm having fun. And I got to be honest with you, it does, and I am, and it's 10:22 on the clock. Think about it. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it, because if we're watching a pot boil, it seems to take forever, but it doesn't. It takes the exact amount of time it takes, which is like 1 freaking minute. But we're watching it. We're paying attention to it. That's all we're focused on. And it seems like it's never happening. But it's an illusion. It doesn't actually take longer to boil when you watch it, right? So you are watching the pot boil, and consequently you feel like the universe moves slow and it fucking sucks, right? But really think about it. Like, I can't even believe it's been 3 years since I was homeless. Like, when I was homeless, it felt like I was homeless for 3 years, and I wasn't. It was a while. It was like a year, but it felt like the longest time ever. And now it's been over for 3 years and I have barely even noticed. I focused instead on all the discomfort I feel in my new apartment. Are you fucking serious? And I don't know about you, but I'm having fun. Like, most of the time I'm having fun. And if I'm not, it's because I'm looking at things from a wonky perspective. I'm not finding a way to have fun. So change your mindset. I want you to add that to your affirmations. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. I need to have fun in order for things to go fast. If I'm just paying attention to the pot boiling, it's going to just keep boiling. That was one of the reasons why I was indulging my senses. But I can see the complications of that. I'll admit the complications of that. Okay. The ritual work that you should think about doing right now has to do with willpower. Now, first of all, understand that willpower is a finite resource. Finite means it is not limitless. You run out. Infinite is where you never run out, and finite is where you do. So it is in the morning when you wake up, you have think of a sim. Your willpower meter is green. You've slept, you've replenished. Hopefully, if you've got a good night's sleep, if you didn't get a good night's sleep, if you ate foods that didn't feel good, if you worried all night before you went to sleep, when you wake up, your willpower might be lower. Maybe it's only at half a bar. But regardless, you wake up with a certain amount of willpower. The healthier you are, the better you feel, the higher that bar is going to be. But as you progress through your day, that resource starts to get depleted. That's why when you get to the evening and you've made a commitment to drink, 4 liters of water, whatever it is you're doing, and it's like 7 o'clock and you're on your 3rd liter and you're like, I don't want to drink more, even though I really wanted to get more water into my body today. Like, I don't really want to. I want to have like hot chocolate. Or if you're trying to like encourage yourself to, write in your gratitude journal at night and you're just like, fuck it. Like, I can't do it. Like, it's not because you're a piece of shit, which is what my mom would have had you believe. No, it's because you really did have a limited amount of willpower and you have to think about what were you using it for? Were you using it to suppress your feelings all day long because you couldn't possibly be brave enough to express them? Well, then how are you going to not take a drink at the end of the night? Because you expended all of your willpower on not expressing your feelings all day. Now you don't have any left. And so you go right back to that toxic behavior, that substance, whatever it was that you don't want to do. You go right back to it and you feel like, oh, I have no willpower. And then you feel sorry for yourself. You feel bad. You feel ashamed. But you shouldn't be ashamed. All you need to do is restructure how you're using your willpower throughout the day. So ritual work that might help you with this, you could, let's see. You could write down a list of the things you would like to have the willpower to do throughout one day. Write down a list, fold the list, and give it, like you could do whatever you want with it, but fold it up and give it to your spirit guides, your angels, whatever you want to call it, and just say, help me to evenly divide my willpower across these things that I desire to have. And set the intention that you will do that. And then when you start to tackle those things on your list, you approach it with this mindset that, if you only have a certain amount of willpower, then maybe you're putting too much stuff on your plate. Maybe you're putting an impossible amount of stuff to be able to manage. And maybe it's unrealistic for you to think that you could manage all of those things, and you need to spread it out more. So look at how you use your willpower right now. Ask for inspiration and guidance about it. This is being released right now, this time for healing. This is ending. Do you see the closing of this cycle? So releasing this feeling that you have to be so healed or whatever in order to have, you don't. Think about all of the unhealed people that are going out to dinner right now with each other and having a great time. You don't have to be perfectly healed to be in a union. You will never be perfectly healed. That is something that you are aiming for, that a destination that you're aiming for, that where you will never arrive. There's no perfect healed. There's not. So there's more healed and there's healing, and you get to be in any relationships you want in that state. So release this feeling that, oh, I need all this time for healing. No, you don't. You don't need any more time for healing. You are already doing it. See? Stop overthinking and keep facing your true north. You are already doing it. I just told you, you don't need more time. You already are doing it in this moment right now. Peacock Spirit, let it shine. Let it shine all the time. All right, this is, when is the last time you shook a tail feather and shined your light for all to see? Within each of us is a peacock spirit yearning for expression, and you are called now to show the world the gorgeous creature you are, for you are a manifestation of spirit. Come out from the shadows, Peacock Spirit says, and show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance as if you remember that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with life force, energy, and sparkling light. You are a channel for divine love, and your dance is one of a kind. Catch the light and help it to shimmer and dance in a celebration of your good fortune of being right here, right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. And you both got the star today, and this is so much the star energy. This is just allowing yourself to truly shine. You're already doing it. Now just allow it to be true. And your theme for this week is the Six of Wands, victory. This is success. This is public acknowledgement of that success. It's definitely letting yourself shine and being acknowledged for it. And there's peace that comes with victory. This is the battle at the victory that comes after the battle of the Five of Wands, that internal struggle, competition, whatever this is, somebody claiming victory and then bringing this offer of peace to the other person. So this is your theme for this week. Claim this victory. And look at, we've got 4 of Cups for the feminine and the 8 of Cups for the masculine. And it's like the fantasy, the offer, walking away from what doesn't serve us and claiming this victory. Lovely energy for this week. All right. I am going to go now. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Again, please like, please subscribe, please share. Go follow me on all the things. Go listen to my music, actually, if you haven't heard it already. I am Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers. You can find me on Spotify and Amazon Music and all the places. So please go listen every time you stream and share that music. That is another way to support me. I put a lot of positive messages into my song that I released. It is called It's Me, Babe. It's about realizing that, all along the journey is really about the divine, through that divine feminine and masculine journey. And it's to a cute little disco beat, and I produced it myself. So check that out. I think you'll be impressed. I am a confident Leo after all. I do everything the best I can. All right. I will see you all Thursday, if you remember. And of course, you can see me on TikTok if you are not. But why aren't you a member? It's only $3.33, and it helps a good cause. All right. See you soon. Take care.